Hello everyone, this is Bridget. Welcome back to Paper Made Me Do It. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the top 10 books that I hope to use throughout the entire year of 2021. I'm just going to briefly share what each book is and the general purpose for which I'll be using it. And I'm going to split it into planning and journaling. So I'm just going to turn this stack over if I can, or I can pull them out like so. Because of all of these books, the first three I'm going to be using for planning, and the rest will be used mostly for different types of journaling. So for planning, I have three books here. They are all from the Hobonichi company. I have the A6 original, the Hobonichi Weeks, not the Mega, just the regular Weeks, and the full year Hobonichi Cousin. So in the past 5 years that I've been using Hobonichi products, I think I've almost always chosen one of these books to be my primary planner, so to speak. But 2021 will be the first year that I've ever attempted to use all three books in combination as part of a very cohesive system. So I'm really excited about this, and fingers and toes crossed that this ends up working out well for me, but I will keep you updated throughout the year with an honest assessment of how this plan is working. But of these three books, my plan is to use the A6 original as my primary planner, which I don't think I've ever done before. So this will be on the go with me on a daily basis. It's very small and compact and lightweight to me. Lightweight enough to feel comfortable throwing it into my purse or bag that I'm taking for the day. And then this Hobonichi Weeks, I'm going to try something completely new and use it as somewhat of a supplement to my primary planner. So because of its portability and being lightweight as well, I plan to take these two with me on the go on a daily basis. So the A6 will be my primary planner. The Weeks will be a supplement of sorts with a very high emphasis on self-care, which I've also never dedicated a book to before. So these are the only two books out of this entire stack that will be leaving the house with me on a daily basis. And then the full year Cousin will remain at home. And I'm going to do a separate video, either video or videos, hopefully sooner than later, to go into much more detail about each of those three books. I'd love to share my setup and just go into more detail about how I'll be using them. So if that's anything you're interested in, then be on the lookout for that separate video. Now, of all of my journals, this is going to be the main one that I'm in for sure, committing to being in on a daily basis. And this is also another Hobonichi product. Guilty, if you see a trend here. I've always been a big fan of the Hobonichi books ever since I discovered them 5 years ago. So this is the A6 size in the Hobonichi 5-year journal. So it is just text only. I don't want to bulk it up. I just do a daily blurb to kind of summarize the day in this book. And this will remain as it has for the last 2 years on the nightstand in my bedroom. And this is kind of one of the last things I do at night before I go to bed. Just jot down a little daily blurb in my Hobo 5-year. So plan to continue that into 2021. Now for 2020, I used a Hobonichi A5 Cousin Avec as kind of a combination between creative journaling and memory keeping. And this year, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a separation. I'm not going to put a lot of time and effort into making sure that there's no crossover by any means, but I am going to utilize some of my traveler's notebooks for more of the creative journaling aspect. And by that, I just mean taking a few minutes when I have it to unwind, kind of de-stress, and use that time to play in my stash, do creative journaling that doesn't necessarily have to be about the specifics of the day or necessarily have to be about specific memory keeping, but just using my ephemera and journaling supplies to just have some fun. And that is what I'll be doing in my traveler's notebooks, hopefully, for 2021. I have several other covers and may switch them out throughout the year, but through 2020, I definitely feel like I neglected my traveler's notebook collection. So I'm hoping that by using them for creative journaling this year, this upcoming year, they'll get more use. Now this is an A6 Hobonichi English planner, and it will remain at home also here in my office. And my plans for this book is to dedicate it specifically to Paper Made Me Do It. I have some goals for the upcoming year and things that I would just like to have in one place. So this is going to be my little Paper Made Me Do It planner slash journal for 2021. Now this is another A6 book, and it is not a Hobonichi product. This is the 2021 Midori MD 1 Day Per Page book, and it's such a beautiful book, but I've only done one entry so far, and I plan to use this book as somewhat of a commonplace journal. So just to practice my penmanship, play in my fountain pens, copy song lyrics, poems, quotes, just whatever I feel like writing down. And although this is a dated book, the only part of it that is dated is the very first section of the monthly layouts. And so I'm not going to stress over having to be in this book on a daily basis. I'm just going to use it as often as I feel inspired. And if I don't finish it in 2021, even though the monthly section is dated, I plan to just hold on to this book and use it as long as it lasts until these undated pages are used for commonplace material. So I don't know that I'm going to put this in a cover, because the cover that it comes on is, or that it comes with, is substantial enough, and I like this kind of bone white creamy shade. So this is just going to be, at least for now, coverless and used as a commonplace book. And this A6 Hobonichi comes in a zip cover, and it is another Japanese original, and I plan to use this as a practice book, so hopefully I will be in it fairly often, but again, does not necessarily have to be used on a daily basis. I've tried this in the past and failed miserably, but in previous attempts I had very specific dedications for this book, like the Rock Your Handwriting Challenge or the Hobonichi Challenge, or, very specific challenges. And then when I would fall behind or fall away, I left the remainder of the book unused. And so for 2021, my biggest hope for this book is that I just use it, and I'm not giving myself one or two specific challenges. I hope to use it for the 2 challenges I already mentioned, as well as any other challenges that I come across on social media that spark my interest, as well as just practice sketches, handwriting practice, maybe swatching some of my supplies. So this is going to be a bit of a catch-all, so to speak, but I hope to use it for a lot of practice this year. I hope to improve on some of my handwriting and lettering skills. So hopefully it will be helpful for that. And then this A5 Galen zip cover is in their undyed leather. This does have 1 full year's worth of patina to it, and you can see that when you look at the interior. But this is going to house a Cousin Avec, and I do plan to do memory keeping in this book again for 2021. But my hope is that this book will have a much greater focus on not just the creative journaling, but on truly memory keeping, and have a little more personal entries in it related to my family life, my kids, more photos and things of that nature. So this will be my memory keeping book for 2021. And the last and 10th book to share is a Hobonichi cover, but actually not a Hobonichi product in size. This is the A5 Mina zip that complements the A6 I showed earlier for my practice journal. But in it, I'm going to be housing another MD product. This is the Midori A5 Codex, and I will be using it as somewhat of a spiritual journal for 2021. So I'll be using it for book notes, Bible study notes, and it will leave my house just 1 day a week because I will take it to church on Sunday for sermon notes when we go for service on Sundays. But other than that, it will remain at home as well. So if you have any questions or comments about these top 10 books, just leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. But I'm excited to just get into all of these, and I'll give you a little sneak peek into my journaling for 2021. My word of the year is going to be consistent for 2021. That is probably one of the biggest struggles I have in multiple areas of life, consistency. So I'll keep y'all updated throughout the year about how I'm doing in all of these books. I'll be honest about it. I've fallen away from plans in the past, so if that happens, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But these 10 books that I've chosen are what I hope to remain in and be consistent in throughout 2021. Also, let me know in the comments below what books you've chosen for 2021. In particular, if you have kind of a primary planner, primary journal. I just always am interested to hear what other people are using. But that's going to be it for this video. So thank y'all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And here's to 2021. I'll be seeing y'all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.